What is up, Retro Maniacs? My name is Mike. His name's Joe. His name's EP. And we're here to talk about cards. You know, Joe had a great idea this week. He thought we should watch a sports card investor video. Because, you know, that's what Joe does with all his spare time.
Yeah.
Memorizes all of Geoff's lines. But he actually had a pretty cool video with Nat Turner showing off just a little bit of Nat's collection. And that got us to thinking, what cards would we like to, let's say, borrow from his collection and put in our own for just a little bit? I don't want to say steal because that could be a little touchy for him because he's had cards stolen. I feel like it would be insensitive to say that. So we're going to just borrow them for a little bit just to put them in our collection.
He's going to leave his car unlocked.
He will. He'll let us, just let him. We'll bring them back. We'll absolutely bring them back. Joe, which ones would you be picking? Get us started.
Before we get to the list, I must say, though, my God, could any other person have sat down and talked to Nat Turner other than Geoff Wilson? You can totally tell he's not really a collector. I hate to say it, but it was so entertaining listening to Nat because you could see him nerding out to these cards. Like, that's what I love the most about this video. That's what made the video entertaining to me. But I'm going to start 1997 Metal Universe. You might be thinking I'm going the Jordan PMGs that he was talking about, all those things. No. I'm going with the green PMG. I only want one, though. I want his PSA 7 Kerry Kittles. Now, you may be wondering, why would I want that one? It's the first one he pulled. He pack pulled it when he was a kid. That's the first PMG. I figure, we were talking about the Hall of Fames, and we kind of made fun of it this past week on the pod. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nat Turner, he's going to be, if there is a real sports card Hall of Fame, he's a Hall of Famer. This is the card that got him on the train to start collecting PMGs. I think it means a bit to have that one. So I'm going to take that one first. Not hold it hostage because that sounds weird, but I'm going to keep it in my collection. That's exactly what you're going to say, EP. I can sense it. But no, if Nat said, hey, you can take any 3 cards from my collection, I would take that one because it does mean a little bit more. I think to the hobby as a whole, is Nat Turner who he is today if he doesn't pull that PMG?
I love it, but like I said, I was thinking the exact. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna take that. He's gonna hold it hostage. You can't have this.
So the problem with the way
the one card that means the most to you.
So the thing that means the most to him probably in his entire collection.
I'm gonna pull. EP, stop. I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. When I suggested this video, it was a more positive. What 3 cards would Nat Turner give us? Would we want from his collection that he's giving us? Then it turned into a whole stolen thing this morning. Literally 5 minutes ago, it turned into a stolen bit.
We're borrowing now. We're not stealing them.
So now my card that I'm like, oh, this is a great card for the hobby. Turns into a hostage situation thanks to these 2 schlubs. But I'm just going to say
anything about it.
Yeah. There was looks. There was looks. EP, you're next. Go ahead.
Well, I went through there are a lot of cards in this, cards that weren't shown in this video. We talked about this that I would prefer over some of the ones that were shown, but I'm going to stick to the ones that were shown. And I'm going to say first off, the 1993. Well, I mean, but he said about having complete sets of these cards. So I mean, I want to get an honorable mention. I'm going to talk about that. 1993 finest refractor King Griffey Jr. Like that. I mean, I mean, that's one of the most iconic cards I feel like in the hobby. As a huge finest fan, huge Griffey fan, like I will never own one because of how expensive they are. But that is one of the cards,
And he knew that. That's why he gave it to you. It to you.
Right. Yes.
You stole it from him. I mean, borrowed it from him. EP is like another show where I can pick a Ken Griffey Jr. card.
Yes.
There may or may not be another one coming. Just saying.
I'm going to take the May on that.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't put any down on my list because
I
knew he picked
same. Because that card would have made my list, hand to God, but I did not because I knew.
So iconic, right? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start off small. I want borrow the 1997 Upper Deck game jersey autograph Michael Jordan, numbered out of 23.
Yeah.
I mean, like the very first game jersey cards and a Jordan autograph. The cards they showed off weren't really my thing, so I'm going to take a big card like that. I might as well have something impressive, and that's where I'm going. I'm going to say, Nat, please, can I just borrow this for a little bit? And I'm sure he'll be like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I'll give it to you.
Maybe.
I mean, he has the money. He can afford it. Yeah, that card would have made my list. That was up there. That was definitely up there. I'm not even a basketball guy or a baseball guy, but I was just so enthralled by some of the cards he had that from our era. I think that's what made it so cool is all these cards are from, for the most part, until he got to the vintage baseball, are from our era. So that's a really, really cool choice.
I mean, a great card, one of the greatest players of all time. Iconic card. I love this card. This card was on my list as well as a potential. I had in case somebody would take one of my Griffies, but I mean, like I feel
one of my Griffies.
Can I back up a second with the one of the greatest players of all time? Like
I might say one of the greatest athletes of all time. Greatest basketball player of all time. One of the greatest athletes of all time. I misspoke. Yeah, one of the greatest basketball player of all time. One of the greatest athletes of all time across all sports. Like just like an amazing player. And then again, the card being the first jersey card, like the very first like jersey cards, and then like you said, Joe. Nat nerding out over that card, talking about like he was so knowledgeable about so many of his cards in the collection, but that little piece of just being so excited about that I love that part of it.
All right, Joe.
I do want to make one more comment as it came to me as I was thinking about it. As he had those cards set out, and watch the video, just mute the parts where Geoff speaks, but as his cards are laid out on the table there, did you see he had like drawers? Like he clearly has like drawers for each, some of these sets. And I like that the green PMG set was in a green drawer. The red was not. The red was not.
It's such a Joe thing.
I'm sitting there going, why in God's name does he not have a red drawer for the red PMGs? I digress. I'm going to go 1998 UD Choice StarQuest Gold PSA 8 cool. Michael Jordan out of 100. It's not flashy. It's not a jersey card. It's not an autograph. It's not a rookie card, anything. But we as kids, EP, were poor.
Yes.
And could not afford a lot of cards. But you know what we could afford? We could afford Collector's Choice.
Yes.
And the fact that he nerded out so much over this one, thinking about someone pulling this card and not really knowing what they had, probably putting into a binder page. I mean, that struck with me. And then the fact that I'm putting together, or I just finished putting together, the football version of this for the 1999 Upper Deck Choice, not the golds, just the blue base ones. So that card really, really was cool to me from that era again, where we were ripping packs and Collector's Choice was what, 50 cents a pack, $1 maybe at most. So to find a card like that out of a pack like those, pretty cool.
Yeah, like you said, Joe, I love that we have all these ridiculous cards, but he has like this really cool story to go along with one of these card from a set that, I mean, for me, StarQuest is iconic. Like I love the blue Griffey StarQuest. Like the StarQuest, like just like it's a thing that will always stick with me, regardless of any other cards and sets and whatever everything else that I ever collected in my life. StarQuest was a snapshot of a moment in time from the 90s that is just I love it so much. Now I've never seen gold.
I felt like Geoff was like not as impressed by that card.
Right.
Yep. So it was like, what is that? You probably have no idea.
There were a lot of cards where you could kind of totally tell Geoff didn't collect back then. Like it's this was the first version of that. That's weird. He didn't know about the essential credentials now and then, either now and future, present, future. So yeah.
All righty, P.
All right, my second one is going to be the 1955 baseball sealed pack in a slab. I mean, I think it would be cool to have a pack from back then. I definitely wouldn't crack it. Like that'd be a cool collection. I
ask if you would.
No, I have my 87 Fleer cello pack with Barry Bonds on the front that I've talked about a lot. I got at Mike's shop back in the day, and it's one of my prized possessions. one of my prized possessions in my collection, and to have like sealed packs for a sealed pack from back then, and in theory, all those cards are mint condition, or I mean, it's just amazing thing. So that's my second choice.
I got a kick out of the Fleer basketball, not the Fleer. What was it? The basketball box that he had with the Wilt Chamberlain
complete box.
rookie.
Yeah.
And how like Geoff was asking him if he was gonna rip it open. It's like
He's
yes.
like,
come on, no. Like,
Well, I love that he said
I
was like cracked open packs. Like he's actually opened some and had no luck. I was like,
the
you know what? I've
awful,
opened some. I know what I'm getting into.
Right.
I'm good. Yeah, I love that. That was good.
All right, who's up? Me. I think I'm up, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. This one's a little different. I'm going to go with the 97 EX Essential Credentials Future, which is actually the higher numbered one, but I think it is a cooler looking card of the two. So, did you notice what the number was on the Jordan card, Joe?
Was it 60 of 60, or it could have been 9 of 9?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
might have
card
noticed
number
that.
69. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have noticed that.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the future one, which is numbered out of 60, because I think it was a cooler looking card. Not worth as much, but hey, we're not getting these cards anyway, so I might as well go with the ones that I like.
Right.
And
That's what I was thinking.
like.
Yeah, and that was the card that it's like Nat Turner just like explained quantum physics to Geoff. He was blown away by the reverse order of the cards, which again, really? Like, I know that. I mean, I know it from Marvel, but still, we know that's a thing. No, great card. And since he's just giving these, or we're borrowing them, yeah, go with whichever one you think it looks cooler.
Yeah.
And that one does look pretty damn cool.
And again, showing off his knowledge about the 2 cards per pack and about how, about back in the day. Like, I love how knowledgeable he seems about the hobby. The Essential Credentials, I never pulled any of them. I have a handful of cards from EX cards from back in the day. I never got any of those. I can't remember how difficult they were to pull. I'm sure they were extremely difficult, but I never pulled one myself. I love the set. I would love to have one of the cards out of it at some point, but they're really, really expensive. They're one of those, like, almost like the PMG's level of people wanting to get them. So
I had pulled one. Jeff Hornacek out of there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a decent amount of money for it too when I first got back in the hobby too. And I think I sold it for way less than I probably could have gotten for it. All right. Joe, your third and final card he's going to give you.
All right.
I'm not giving them to you, but
yeah.
Them.
Oh my God. Stop it with that.
It's a joke.
I'm going to go with a card that I've held in my hand. Not the specific one, but I'm going to go with the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle PSA 1.5. And I'll tell you, like, the reason I want this one is because, again, the nerdiness factor of Nat when describing this card, I really, really got. I really liked it. We talk about cards that tell a story. He's literally like, this was probably in some kid's bike spokes. You can see tape that, maybe the card was a little ripped. You can see the pinholes. And again, we're making fun of Geoff because it's really easy to do. But he's like, yeah, that story must be cool. And Geoff's thinking, like, I'd rather have a 10. Like, Geoff can care less about the story. Yeah. So even though this is probably still a $30,000-ish card in a 1.5, I mean, really, really cool card, and it tells that story of a kid who probably pulled it out of a pack in 1952 or 53 and put it on their wall. So I would take this one. It's not a bad card to have regardless of the grade, but I'll take it.
This was on my list. Like, I worked down a list of like a bunch of different cards. I was hoping we would talk about this one. That he's going to try to collect a 1 through 10 of this card is another thing that sounds really awesome. Like, he's got 1 through 5, I think, and then a 7 or something. Yeah, like
7. Yeah.
So like that's I love that. He has one that has a pinhole in it, like somebody like pinned it up to a pin board or whatever, and just a really, really cool. I love it. This is the kind of collection that I would love to take a look at.
He's collecting a 1 through 10 of a 52 Topps Mantle. Do you love this? Like, this is insane. Insane. This is not something a normal person or collector can even fathom how, like, you decide I am going to collect one of each grade.
And
when you already have
guarantee
all
you-
the PMGs, like, I mean, what's left, right?
He
Yeah.
needs 3 greens. Come on.
Sure.
No, the thing that cracks me up the most is I think he means like 1, 1.5,
Yes.
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
2.5, 3, like
One of
all the
each
way up
grade.
to 8.5, 9, and then 10. Yeah, that's and probably authentic. I mean, why not? Why not throw an authentic in there too?
You don't have the rainbow if you don't have the authentic.
PSA announces a new 9.5 grade for a week.
Just
So Nat can get his 9.5.
maybe they'll regrade that 10 that should be a 9.5.
Ooh,
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Wow.
Bing, bing, bing.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I think we're at EP. Are we at EP? I think
I
we're at
believe
EP.
so. Yes.
And he's going to
So
do an honorable mention here because he likes to cheat.
Does love.
listen. I didn't like. It's not that I don't like Jordan cards. I don't collect them. But the Jordan, the purple Jordan Ultra 1 of 1 from 1997, I think it was 1998, 1997. I want the Alonzo Mourning from that set. Like that. That'd be. I mean, that would be freaking awesome. But of course, I think he probably has the complete set based on the way he was talking about having complete sets for all the stuff. So I'm not sure. But the purple Ultra, the 1 of 1s, which I never saw those. I was aware of them, but I never had one. That would be my honorable mention. My actual card, the 1997 Griffey Showcase Masterpiece 1 of 1, of course. I mean,
Wow.
What?
go figure. Go
Shocker.
figure. Go figure on that one. Like, I love the show. Like he gushed over the Showcase Masterpieces, which I do the same thing. We've talked about Showcase. I mean, we all love Showcase. We Flair Showcase is just one of our favorites, and so the masterpieces are just something about them that they just look amazing. And then I mean the blue lettering and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's the card right there. That's my number one. If I could pick one card out of there, it's just you can take one card out of my collection. That's the one I'm taking. Even though I could probably get more money out of a bunch of other ones selling them, I want that Griffey.
Here's another card that would have probably made my list, but I knew I was not allowed to. Like I could sense that this was definitely going to be.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
I also want to make mention how much he gushed over skybox cards, clear cards, and specifically upper deck cards. I like just in a general thing, like he gushed over those. Not many tops cards on his list, if you notice, especially
Vintage
in
baseball.
the mid-90s. He had the vintage baseball, but it was between. He actually liked the Bowman. I could sense he liked the 52 Bowman mantle over the 51 and the 52 top. So like he was gushing over that card quite a bit. But yeah, he really loved those. The same sets we love from the 90s, those upper deck sets, those Fleer sets, and the skybox stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things about it was you can tell he was actually a collector. And listening to him nerd out about the cards we would nerd out about if we were able to buy those cards was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But my final card, Joe, you mentioned it, the 52 Bowman Mantle PSA 10. Not for any particular reason other than the fact that it's a mantle, but that was a beautiful looking baseball
I've never
card.
seen it before. I've
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I mean, 72 years old and that card is in that shape. Just I mean, that blows my mind how anything like that old can be in that condition, but just beautiful, like better than they make them nowadays. So just because of how beautiful that card was, that would be the one I picked. Don't have any special connection to Mantle. It wouldn't necessarily be about the value because the tops is worth more from 52, but that card was just one that caught me off guard, and I was like, wow, that is just gorgeous. So that'd be my third card.
Yeah, we talk about, I talk about Marvel cards quite a bit and how cool it is that they have artists come in and like do a whole set, Marvel Masterpiece, right? Kind of what they did here, right? They took a picture and someone made an oil painting of it and turned it into a card. I had no idea this was a thing. I had no idea. I'd never seen that card before, but like you, Mike, I was taken aback by just how sharp it was. Full bleed card too. It was just a really, really nice card. And again, another thing that he geeked out over, and you could kind of tell, Geoff was like, oh, I prefer the 52 tops. Well, of course you do, because it's worth more money. But the way Nat actually cared about, it seemed he cared about that one just as much, was really cool.
He also got excited about the 56 tops mantle, which is the first mantle after a few years of him not being there. And that was like, if I if I had to choose a mantle out of the collection, that's the one I would choose, just because I like that. I like
pick
card.
another card.
Another honorable mention.
So, but no, like in the 52 Topps mantle, obviously it's worth more money and it's more iconic and all that sort of stuff. But like, I love that he was so excited about talking about these different mantles, and obviously the Bowman is, that's also an iconic card. It's I would prefer more. I prefer the cards with the names on them, like that sort of stuff, as opposed to that one. It's just the photo on the front. So, but it's still I mean, obviously anything from that back then, and like the crazy amount of how white the borders were. Like you think about like you said, Mike, how old that card is. To have it be a 10 in 2024 is just it's nuts.
And EP is the guy that would ask the genie for use one of his wishes for 3 more wishes.
More wishes, yeah.
There's a reason why they put that rule. They put that rule in there. That's
yeah. I really the last takeaway I had from this video is we kind of joke around about Nat getting preferential treatment because he's the owner and stuff like that. I really enjoyed like seeing the grades on his PMGs, like 5s and 6s and like authentic. And I loved how he
altered on the
authentic Jordan. Altered on the Jordan. And Geoff Wilson goes, "Why would anyone do this?" Jeff, you have a whole channel of why people would do this. It's about money, Yeah. So, but to see that, I actually kind of like that. I was happy to see it. Though some of his thick cards getting good grades, I'm like, I don't know. You might be getting preferential treatment on that one. But
I also made a note about how his Topps Chrome Kobe rookie had some hulking.
Only
a little bit. If I sent that much to hulking, I bet you I wouldn't get a 10 on that.
Yeah.
But I also want to say, I don't think we've said it. I think we have said it before, but make sure to go watch this video. A lot of fun to see his cards, and
I'll link the video in the description, and make sure you go watch it. Mm-hmm. You can edit out the parts with Jeff if you want to, or just watch them. No, I mean,
it's a fun video. I mean,
we pick on Jeff a little bit, but he did provide a video that we did a video about that we enjoyed watching. So, he's not the most knowledgeable in some of the older stuff, but then again, I don't know that he necessarily tries to act like he is. So, all of us might not know different areas. So since he didn't know these, we poked a little fun at him, but it's all in good fun. That was a great video. Like, he gets access to people like this. You can see things like that. So, I mean, that's a great service in the hobby that people like us, Nat's probably not going to show us those cards.
He's not going to answer our call. No,
hate to break it to you. Yeah. So
when Jeff was sliding the cards across the table, like the slabs, you could see Nat kind of be like,
yes.
Some of those cards definitely got reslabbed. I guarantee you, after that video, some of those cards got reslabbed after he was just sliding them across that wood table. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was worried with them with all just touching the cards in general.
You could tell Nat was not a huge fan. Like it was like a lot of like jumps, a little bit, little mini jumps.
All right, guys. Well, good job. We actually made a video that was shorter than the video that we're on.
Well played, fellas. Good job. High fives. High fives all around.
I'm not doing that, but hey, that was a lot of fun, guys. I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, boys.